Is that somewhat straight? Yeah, we look like we're good. Okay, welcome Aquarius to your August predictions reading. This reading is intended for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. If you are cross-watching, that is fine. If anything doesn't resonate, don't force it to fit. Take what resonates, don't let the rest take from you, leave it for somebody else. Now, before we get into your predictions, I'm going to go ahead and set my intentions as your reader. I'm also going to tune into your energy. So whether you're watching this live or after I've posted it, please take a moment to focus on the sound of my voice and set your intentions. Think of the questions you may have about the month ahead, some of the answers that you're seeking, or even some of the themes that you want to know about. Let's go ahead and tune in. Spirit, please connect me to Aquarius's energy. Please help me offer Aquarius the most clear, honest messages for their reading. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so we're going to start by pulling a card from the Celestial Bodies Oracle deck. Let's move that a little bit. Spirit, what can Aquarius expect in the month of August? What can Aquarius expect in the month of August? We have Mars coming out for you, and at the back of the deck is Earth. Okay, so we've got Capricorn at the top of the pyramid, which makes me think that the month of August is about pursuing a more responsible sort of long-term goal, or handling your responsibilities around your career and your finances, your family, maybe feeling like things are taking shape on a more sort of bigger picture. But with Mars reverse, this also feels like there's things out of your control that you're having to be at peace with, or even I'm just hearing contend with, Aquarius. So Mars's energy doesn't like to feel out of control. It can then feel very chaotic. It can feel like there's a lot of things that are just being left up in the air. And it can also start to feel like people aren't taking us seriously, which as an Aquarius, it doesn't matter too much the first time, but if it starts to feel like a trend where you're constantly being pushed aside or underestimated, it's going to really get under your skin. So let's see how this translates into those three key areas of your life. Let's start with your love life. Spirit, what is happening in Aquarius's love life in the month of August? What is happening in Aquarius's love life in the month of August? Okay, we have Saturn coming out for you first. What is happening in their finances, with their money? We have the 9th house. And let's have a look now at your lifestyle. What is happening in Aquarius's life? We have Capricorn again. At the back of the deck is the 12th house. So this kind of makes a little bit more sense. August feels like the kind of month that is trying to help you reflect and process endings so that you can, on one hand, learn and gain the wisdom through those experiences, but on the other hand, you can start to think about what else is out there, what other opportunities are waiting for me, and what am I potentially not able to see because I'm still emotionally attached to something that I need to leave behind. So this 12th house energy is very reflective. It involves being able to process your emotions, even if you don't think it's a big deal. These things have a habit of catching up with us later in life, or even just right down the track. So we need to give ourselves that human chance to process things and actually address emotions so that they don't lead to subconscious blockages, fears, or baggage. Now, I do think that this 12th house is more than just reflecting, processing, and endings. There's also a theme here of feeling like you have to get over something that you didn't ask to experience in the first place. Like, this is a very big feeling of, well, this wasn't my fault, or I didn't try to do this, or it wasn't even something that I wanted in the first place. So this person decided to do that and they did this, so now I have to handle this. And because of that, the way in which you handle it is very personal. It's not something you want to share with other people. It's not something you feel other people have the right to tell you how to handle it or process, because at the end of the day, you weren't even supposed to deal with it in the first place. And now that you are having to deal with it, you want to be able to deal with it on your own terms. So, hi Kezi, welcome back. There is a strong feeling here of, in general, August is going to be about you figuring out when to push back, what to actually accept accountability for, and what to let go of, because it's just not worth your energy. It's not worth fighting. So let's push this up here and let's have a look at your love life with Saturn. Goodness. Yeah, it was that way. Bless. I just changed the order and I'm like, what? Had to look at the live stream to make sure. Okay. So, Spirit, what is going on for Aquarius's love life in August? What is going on for Aquarius's love life in August, Spirit? Okay. We have the Maiden of Pipes. What is going on for Aquarius's love life? We also have the Medicine Wheel. Oops. And we're going to take the One Shields, which is the Ace of Pentacles. At the back of this deck is the Warrior of Shields. These cards just seem to be cycling through, so there's a lot of collective sort of themes happening that seem to tie into almost every sign one way or another. For you, Aquarius, this energy, look, we have an ending and a new beginning. Being the number 10, the Medicine Wheel does talk about things coming to a head, like a culmination, coming to the end, but it is a major arcana card, so it isn't technically the end. It's symbolic of a turning point where something changes, and in that changeable moment, we do have to let go of things in order to move forward. So the Medicine Wheel is this deck's interpretation of the Wheel of Fortune, and it tells us with the Saturn card and the Warrior of Shields that you have some pretty big decisions to make when it comes to love. In August, you have to figure out what is worth holding on to, what is worth fighting for, what is worth your time, your energy, your effort over time, and how are you going to, again, bring all of that back to yourself and making sure that you are investing in the best possible outcome for yourself when it comes to love. Romance this month is going to feel like hard work with Saturn here, but the trick is, and it's not really a trick actually, Saturn doesn't try to trick you, but it does make you work for what you want. And the main reason that that's happening is because there's this recognition here of you wanting something high value, something loyal, something long term, something worthy of your effort, but you've got to put in a little bit of work to get there, and you've got to cut baggage to get there. So August is going to have you processing lessons, challenges, and overcoming personal challenges in order to align with your highest possible outcome in love. What you want in love is not impossible, but in order for it to happen, you have to be disciplined. It feels like August is the month where your love life is making you commit to yourself first and go, well, if this is what you want, you're going to have to step up and be that person first in order to attract it. Now, you're not just doing this because you like torturing yourself. You're doing this because there's a reason. There's a feeling of it's the right time and I have the right energy in my love life. So for a lot of you, you already have somebody in your life who is worthy of this kind of hard work, effort, and discipline. And if you're single, what you're being called to leave behind doesn't feel like a sacrifice. It feels like a relief. It feels like you're cutting dead weight and you're able to breathe easier. So there is this overall feeling of all of you aligning with a more intentional, meaningful, and disciplined path when it comes to love. So let's have a look at our single Pringles really quickly. If you're a single Aquarius and you're not committed to anybody, there is a feeling here of you gaining interest in somebody, and either they're already in your life and it's still fresh, or they're going to come into your life very soon because they're showing up as somebody who you have a bit of a crush on, who's showing up as a bit of like a spark of interest in your life, as someone who you find quirky in the right ways, but also charismatic. And their energy is infectious. Being around them gives you a boost in your energy, and it's kind of this magnetic attraction for you. With that being said, you're trying to just let this person show you what they want. You're not being cruel with Saturn here towards them. You're actually just being cruel towards yourself. You're letting this person show you in August whether they're interested in you, whether they want something more meaningful with you, and what exactly they want with you. Because from that point is where you decide, well, how much further do I take this with the medicine wheel? And for my single Pringles, August is the month in which you go, okay, yes, I'm attracted. Yes, I find them interesting. Yes, there is a spark. But with the medicine wheel here, is this in my best interest? Does it align with my bigger goals? Does it support the plans that I have for myself? And if not, how much longer can I keep this going? Or is this standing in the way of my other success? Now, for a lot of you, this passion, this interest in this person is ultimately leading towards a new opportunity in love, one way or another. Whether it's with that person or not, before August is over, you have made a commitment to yourself first and foremost, and you're also growing an opportunity to strengthen a connection in your love life, either with this person who you start the month feeling attracted to, or with a different person. So this is really the month where singles are putting in that hard work in order to honor the stage of their life that they're in, the type of commitment that they want, and also the experiences that they want to create when it comes to love. The Warrior of Shields is overall saying that love in August is about intention, being a good person first and foremost, and also making those important decisions as you take steps forward. Don't just let these fleeting things kind of roll over and turn into something bigger. Be in control of your narrative in love and make sure that you're the one that's making those decisions. So for people in relationships, this is very much similar. However, if you're in a committed relationship, it feels like your relationship has the chance to take on a more meaningful, grounded, intentional, serious nature that you're overthinking and taking on as a little bit of a burden with Saturn here. So Aquarius, look, similar to the single Pringles, if you're in a relationship, your love interest is showing up as someone that excites you, that brings you a lot of sort of passion, that makes you feel a little bit youthful and even excited about life in different ways. They may have brought in new interests into your world, and you may get the chance to experience some new things together. But if you're in a relationship already, this medicine wheel, again, it's not an ending. It's the chance for positive change. And yes, you may need to leave some things behind, but if you're in a relationship, I feel like you're taking that very seriously, and it's feeling like less of a blessing and more of a burden with Saturn here. Like these two energies just feel so conflicting. We have Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter's trying to say, enjoy it. This is a good thing. Like, I'm trying to bless you right now. And you're going, yeah, but like there's a lot more responsibility now because of this blessing. And I'm just thinking about that. Like, now I have to do this and that and this and that. And Jupiter's like, don't worry about it. It's going to fall into place. If it's meant to be, it will be. But you have this tone in love where you're trying to find a way to handle it with a level of like, it's my responsibility. So I do think that for those in relationships, your relationship will have a new chapter that is taking on more commitment, more longevity, more seriousness. It could be like moving in together, becoming official, or, you know, doing something to merge aspects of your finances, like taking on a shared financial responsibility. Look at the two heads there. Like, we have two people showing up in this one opportunity. But it just feels like this is a big moment for you. It feels like the Aquarius side of you that's more comfortable in Uranus's energy is like, what the heck are you doing? And that's the thing, as an Aquarius, you have Saturn as your ruler, but you have Uranus as your ruler as well. And those two energies can be very different. Uranus wants you to be a free thinker and a bit of a rebel and a free spirit, where Saturn is like, handle your responsibilities, stay grounded, you've got this, but it's going to take time. Uranus is like, no, it's not. We already live in the future. Let's do it now. So we see that in your love life. There's a desire to ground and to create permanence and longevity, but it also feels like your free spirit is getting a little bit of cold feet. So you'll need to contend with that, because I do see success and long-term commitments happening in August when it comes to love. So that is what I'm seeing. Let's have a look at your finances, your money, 9th house. So I do feel like this 9th house is, again, a positive omen, blessings, expansion, new experiences with your money. Spirit, what can you tell us about Aquarius's finances in the month of August? What can you tell us about Aquarius's finances in the month of August? Okay, whoa. We have the giveaway dance, 6 of Shields, reversed, spiritualist reversed, which is the, oh my gosh, the way that just slapped. Okay. 2 5s and a 6 reverse. This is a 5 of Shields upright, so that's actually good after this. Oh my goodness. It makes sense, to be honest, but at the back of the deck we have the Sun. Okay, so you're taking your love life too seriously. This is just my critical judgment. So look, be you at the end of the day. You're taking your love life too seriously, and then when it comes to your money, this is where you're letting your inner child be free and you're not taking it seriously at all. So look, There are changes in your finances in August that you're trying to adopt. You're intentionally making changes to try to cultivate a better outcome with your money. It seems like a lot of your money is going towards debt or paying off things and trying to recover from overspending that has already happened. So with the Six of Shields reversed, if this isn't your own debt, you could be lending money to somebody else to help them pay things off. But with the ninth house upright, this is actually a good feeling. Even though we're watching that money leave our account, we feel good about it. We feel like, oh, thank God, I'm finally tackling that bill. I'm finally paying off that loan, or I'm finally handling that overdue fee, that payment. So it actually feels like it's liberating. It's by spending money that we're not going to see come back straight away, we're giving ourselves the chance to feel a lot better, happier, freer. Like there's a lot of focus on trying to remove financial constraints in August, trying to stay on top of overdue deadlines, fees, and trying to put more money into our expenses or loans. Now, the other reason why we have the Six of Shields reversed is to be aware of who owes you money in August. If you are giving more money out, keep track of that. Make sure it does come back. Otherwise, August is the month where you call people up and say, hey, remember when I lent you money in February? Yeah, can you pay me back now? I need it in August. So it feels like a blessing, which thank God we have these cards, because if I only saw this, I'd be like, oh my God, Aquarius, what? What are you doing? But we have all of this to give us context and to help us understand that actually with the Six of Shields reversed, we're giving away what we need to financially in order to be more at peace with where we're at, to feel like we owe people less and to feel like we have more freedom in our present. It's like something that was weighing on you, making you feel like you were in debt to someone is not a string you wanted to be attached to. So you're clearing that financial karma in August to the best of your ability. Chipping away at bigger loans might take more time, but you're making significant contributions in August. With the spiritualist reverse, this is actually the Five of, look, it's supposed to be the Five of Swords. Sometimes I read this as the Five of Wands. In your case, it actually does feel like the Five of Swords, because with that card reversed, when it comes to money, don't muck around. Like, this is you taking a stand and doing what you need to, even if it's not the popular thing to do. Even if people are saying, like, I'll pay you back on this day. If you don't have the money to spend on a person, an experience, or an opportunity, don't do it in that moment unless it's like realistically possible. So how do I word this? I mean, because that's kind of obvious. You can't spend what you don't have. But there's this weird feeling with it being the Five of Swords of needing to like trick yourself, because even though the money's in your account, doesn't mean it's there to spend. Does that make sense? So you may be trying to set up some sort of savings account or investment account to trick yourself into changing your spending habits for the better, or putting money away for your future. There's this feeling of trying to think of the big picture while also trying to make the most out of the present with your finances. So you're not going to be putting a lot of money away, but you do need to be second guessing those lavish, expenses, the things that are considered more of like a, what is the word? I used to follow some of those accounts, some of those channels that did like budgeting, and they had a word for things that weren't like necessary. It was like a additional sort of like fun And they put things like movies into that category, going out to dinner or eating out in general, and even just using rideshare services that weren't for work was in that category. So you do need to think twice. And this card is ultimately telling you to be careful of trying to save other people when you yourself need to be saved with your money. So we can't afford to do what is popular with our money when we really need to be thinking of ourselves here. Be realistic, be logical, and set up little strategies to kind of trick yourself into thinking, well, you don't actually have money to spend. Instead of opening your banking app and seeing that overall available balance, maybe you need to, put money into another account where it doesn't have a card attached. There's like little practical things being highlighted here in August of ways to trick your mind into saving money. Is there anything else Aquarius needs to know? Yeah, so I just want to say that these two fives, this one being reversed and this one being upright, is actually a good thing for your finances. Again, we have good energy from the 9th house and the sun. Even though the fives in tarot get a bad rap, they are ultimately about change. And with the 5 of Swords reversed, you're staying on top of your choices and you're making self-interested, self-invested choices about your money, which is good. You can't be thinking about other people when it comes to how you're spending and making it. And then the 5 of Pentacles upright in this deck especially is cultivation for a reason. We're making practical choices about our money that's going to change our circumstances for the better. It's going to cultivate more success in the future. But August is where we really commit to those choices so that we can set ourselves up for future success. And that's where we see expansion in our money. It's going to take realistic, practical choices, and it's also going to take a little bit of strategy on what your money should be going towards in August. So it's a good idea to set up a monthly budget or some sort of account statement where you can track your expenses and your income. And I overall see a really good outcome here. Lots of happiness, lots of time to actually spend your money the way that you want without overdoing it, which is good. Like, you're not just going to be living on a shoestring budget. You're actually going to be able to enjoy yourself with the sun by following this plan. So let us have a look now at your lifestyle. This is where we might also get more clues about why this is the energy in your finances. What is going on for your lifestyle in August? We should have almost done this first, but it's kind of hard to know until we're there. I feel like this might fill in some of the gaps. So Spirit, what can Aquarius expect in their lifestyle when it comes to August? The World card reverse, some loose ends. What else? Victory reversed, which is the 6 of Pipes, 6 of Wands. What else? Hi Sophie, hi Jen, welcome. Smoke signal. So you've got 2 Wands cards, 2 fire cards, and then you've also got the World, which is Saturn energy again. Saturn, as one of your rulers, is very prominent in this reading. It's a very strong energy. So I just want to point out that we have some masculine energy here and we have some feminine energy here. And we're not talking about genders. We're talking about how that might reflect the choices you make, the way that you process the things that you experience in terms of the feelings that you may feel and the thoughts that you choose to act on. With the 12th house here, it feels like your life is telling you to, be more, to process things more. But it also feels like you're not wanting to, or you're avoiding it in August. So in your lifestyle, With Capricorn here, I do see a new opportunity to either deepen a platonic connection, which is a friend or family member, or to start a new friendship and to start a new sort of chapter with a platonic connection. And this is centering around you feeling like you need to make the most out of the certain people that are in your life. You may be feeling like you're running out of time with them. A loved one may be getting to the end of their life and you're going, oof, I need to make the most out of them being here. Or there's just a feeling of loose ends that you need to tie up in your lifestyle. You're trying to bring more of like a values-based, sentimental sort of component to your free time, where you're feeling like you're spending your time with people that you love, people who are a part of your close circle, your family especially, and people who you don't get to see enough of. These could be people that are traveling a long way to get to see you. And it just feels like we don't have enough time with them. So a lot of the choices you make in August when it comes to your lifestyle are centered around trying to tie up loose ends and also trying not to have any regrets, because you don't want to feel like you didn't do enough, you didn't spend enough time, you didn't try hard enough. And so there is something happening here that may not be a perfect plan, but you're making it come together. You're you know, if it involves you getting only 2 hours sleep, you're going to make it happen because it's important to you. This person is your family, or they mean so much to you. You're going to make that time for them, or you're going to make that time to do that, or to go there, or to be there in some way. So this is a big deal, but that's what we kind of see in a lot of different aspects of your lifestyle. So this energy translates into your habits, again, your free time, your platonic connections, and also how you want to spend any of your free money. Any money that isn't going towards paying off loans or debts or staying on top of regular payments is going towards these opportunities to spend time with people who matter to you. And there's a lot of selflessness here. There's a lot of giving from you. There's a lot of, don't worry, I've got it. I'll take care of you. Like we'll figure it out when we get there. Don't stress, like we'll figure it out. To the point where with the Six of Wands reversed, you may be setting unrealistic expectations where once that moment happens, it feels like it's not gratifying enough. It feels like it's not actually as big as you hoped it would be, and it may not feel like it scratched that itch, if that makes sense, especially if this is somebody who you haven't seen in a while. Maybe there's certain things you don't get to talk about, certain opportunities you don't get to experience, or places you don't get to go. And if this is an experience that you've been waiting for, it just feels like the expectations exceed the outcome, to the point where with smoke signal reversed, I do think that you might be putting too much into your platonic connections and you're not feeling that exchange as much as you used to. These could be people you haven't seen in a while. Maybe the energy's shifted a little bit and it's not as generous as it used to be, or it just feels like you're getting frustrated, but at the end of the day, you feel mostly frustrated with yourself for not seeing how things have changed. With the 8 reversed, a cycle has changed, and there's the passion that we're putting into it isn't coming back to us. It's just going and it's not coming back. So this can feel like us even depleting very quickly. It's like when you meet up with somebody you haven't seen in a while, and then, you know, instead of being able to spend all day, all night, all week with them, after an hour or two, it just feels like your social battery gets drained. It just feels like you need to go lie down and have a coffee or something. So look, this month, when it comes to your lifestyle, there is a new opportunity, but with the 12th house here, you may need to process how things have changed with people who have been in your life for a long time. Relationships are being redefined, and you have to contend with the fact that the way things were is not how things may continue to be moving forward. This is especially in your friendships and family connections. So for you personally, your advice is to give yourself plenty of outlets in your free time to not just process your emotions, but your frustration, your energy that isn't coming back, and to recharge as well, to give yourself time to actually gain energy rather than give and expect more than what you're receiving. So doing the things and being in environments that recharge you and regenerate your passion, your zest for life, your enthusiasm, all of that is really going to go a long way. It could feel like you're going above and beyond for people who just aren't doing the same for you in return either, or who are underestimating how much you do behind the scenes in order to make these moments happen. So that is what I'm seeing for you. Thank you so much, Aquarius, for tuning in. I appreciate you all for being here, especially those who are able to drop in live. Thank you so much for this energy exchange. I wish you a prosperous, abundant, oh, I can't say that because it throws off my rhythm. Hang on, let me rephrase it. For the month ahead, I wish you prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy. Until we meet again, look after your beautiful selves. Thank you for the privilege of letting me read for you, and I hope to cross paths with you soon. Bye.